Like most of you who picked up a Switch 2, I have been playing Mario Kart World a lot since it released. It's the first entry in 11 years, and it's coming off of what some consider to be the best Mario Kart game of all time. It had really big shoes to fill. People were expecting it to be similar to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in quality, but also something different entirely to be worth purchasing for $80. An expectation that almost always ends in failure. So how did it do? Well, Mario Kart World has some good qualities that make it a good Mario Kart game, but it is hindered by some really weird content decisions that I don't agree with. I think this will be many people's favorite Mario Kart game, but it will also be many people's least favorite Mario Kart game. It's going to depend on what you value in Mario Kart. For me, mechanically, this is my favorite by far, with the deepest driving system and the best map design, but content-wise, it's one of the most disappointing. There are 3 big faults with this game that I want to talk about, and I think by diving into these faults, you'll understand my thesis a bit better, and why some aspects of it are so disappointing, especially the content because there's a lot here, and on the surface, it seems very cohesive. I mean, it takes place in one giant open world, but after about 15 hours of playtime, I realized that there are some issues with World, and they really stick out. The following are my biggest issues with Mario Kart World. 1. The new Grand Prix mode is a waste of good tracks. 2. Free roam is super underbaked and needs more content. 3. The reward systems across the entirety of the game are really bad. Unfortunately, I think these issues are so baked into the game that it's impossible to fix with just a balance patch. Hopefully they'll fix these issues for a sequel that we'll get in about 10 years with the Switch 3. First on our list, let's talk about Grand Prix. This is the mode I first started the game with at 100cc because I wanted to learn the courses before I went to 150cc and try to 3-star everything. The problem with this plan, and one that I didn't know at the time, was that you barely learn any courses in Grand Prix because it is set up differently than past Mario Kart games. Because of the open world, Grand Prix has you doing 3 laps on the starting course, then traveling to a new course and doing 1 lap, and then continuing that process until you cross the finish line of the 4th map. With that first course being the exception, there are no instances in Grand Prix where you are doing 3-lap races. I don't like this change. I think this is a bad fit for Grand Prix because it isn't really testing your mastery with a certain set of maps. That 1 lap at the end of the course feels more like an extension to the long and linear race that came before it. When I race, I feel like I'm not actually leveraging the map design well, which is a shame, because this game has the best map design in the series. Thanks to the new mechanics of grinding on rails and wall riding, there are so many different routes within these courses that you can take, and as a casual player, navigating these maps was encouraging me to dive even deeper into what World had to offer from a mechanical standpoint. But traveling between each map is pretty much a straightaway with tricks along the way, and we are expected to learn those for Grand Prix instead, which is fine, but not quite as good as the very detailed and diligently designed courses. They just weren't as fun for me to drive, and I wish I was just on the tracks more instead. What's odd about the game, though, is that there is an exclusive mode that is styled after driving through these long-winded races across the world. Knockout Tour. I think it's brilliant, and it should have been the primary mode that best showcases going from track to track, while Grand Prix could have been something a bit more classic. That feeling of getting eliminated slowly is a good match for Mario Kart, and an even better match for the world that it takes place in. And further creating a distinction between these 2 modes could have made the game feel like it had even more content. Really, it could have been 8 cups with 8 unique tours across the world, which would have solidified it as the most content we have ever had in a base Mario Kart release. Instead, it feels like 8 cups with 8 tours that retread the same ground, and that doesn't have quite the same appeal. And it hurts because the actual courses that are in the game truly are the best in the series. I know I already praised them, but I would go as far as to say that they deserve to have a circuit with 3 laps each. I don't think there is a single miss on these courses, which is saying something because usually there are some pretty big stinkers hidden in there, but I genuinely liked all of what I played so far, even Sky High Sunday. I know I can go into verses and create my own Grand Prix, but it's not quite the same. There really should have been at least some option to be able to turn it back into something from other Mario Karts. I get that they want to leverage the open world as best as possible, but there's an entire mode dedicated to that. It's called Free Roam, and it's next on my list of gripes. Free roam is really fun, and ultimately a good addition, but it is really underutilized. When it was announced that Mario Kart World would be this open world experience, I went and played a little bit of another racing game to experience what a racing open world might be like. That game was Forza Horizon 5. I figured that if I wanted to think critically about this game, I would have to know more about racing games as a genre, and play one that dives into its open world similarly to what Mario Kart might do. Looking back, I probably just set myself up for failure since Forza Horizon 5 is incredible, and free roam in Mario Kart World is not. You see, I was really disappointed in free roam, because there just isn't much to do despite the world design blowing Forza Horizon 5 out of the water. There are 3 types of activities littered throughout free roam: P-switches, question mark blocks, and peach medallions. Peach medallions and question mark blocks are pretty much functionally the same. You both get a sticker for collecting each. I always found the medallions to focus on getting somewhere high, and the question mark blocks are usually hidden along a wall or on the ground. But the real bread and butter of free roam are these P-switches. You can run over them and do time challenges that leverage the world around you. Whether that's a parkour challenge or a quick race through checkpoints, these are spread out all over the world, and you'll come across one, drive to it, do the challenge, and another P-switch is already in sight. Admittingly, it's a really fun loop, but the negatives of these P-switches are that these challenges can be short and most of them are far too easy. I get the impression that most are meant to be glorified tutorials, though when you get a good one that's tough, that's when they become really fun. And that's it. That's literally all there is to free roam. So how is this game good if it's so light on content? There are 2 things that it does really well. The world design is like a giant playground, and how little information you get makes exploration a bit fun. It's these 2 ways that Mario Kart actually has a leg up on Forza here. Forza has a pretty standard world with winding paths, but not a lot of things to do outside of the next challenge. It does what it can in a very serious racing game, but Mario Kart is a cartoonish romp through the Mushroom Kingdom. I'm talking about unrealistic verticality, the ability to have roads and buildings and locations that bend reality. It helps that the game encourages you to use every tool at your disposal, including drifting on walls and riding rails from one building top to the next. You just can't beat this kind of interconnected fun, even if Forza isn't trying to. Exploration in Mario Kart is also helped by the fact that literally nothing is on your map other than the amount of question mark blocks to find in each area, so I found myself driving everywhere and trying to see what there is to see. Forza has icons for everything, and I was never encouraged to go off-road because there wasn't much pushing me to do so. I pretty much just drove from one thing to the next and collecting what I wanted to on the way. But Forza is strong where it really matters, and that's in activities to do around the world. It will have different types of races and different completion ratings for those races. In terms of actual content, Forza is king. Speed traps, danger signs, city races, off-road races, community events, underground races, speed zones, drift zones, XP signs, fast travel signs, side quests, and story quests. And these are all off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure I'm missing about 3 or 5 more types of things to do. It's not perfect in its content, it's maybe a bit excessive, but Mario Kart World misses so many opportunities to have content be a part of the open world. P-switches only have 1 tier of challenge. Imagine if completing it faster gave different tiers of rewards. That would extend your content twice or even 3-fold. There are also tons of characters scattered throughout the map, but they're just hanging around. There are no character-themed quests around them, and what about actually starting, races in a racing game? If it's not part of a P-switch trial, which you won't know what kind of P-switch trial it will be until you already activate it, then you can't race. I often find myself wishing they just put the Grand Prix selections into the free roam like Forza does, so I can at least get the illusion of content. And that's probably the most damning thing. All these issues add up to this feeling that free roam is a side mode. It even feels like it's hidden in the menus, which is a shame because it deserved way more attention, and it really falters in comparison to Forza's world, which feels streamlined to an impressive degree. I think there is a perfect racing game you can make if you take the best parts of Mario Kart World and the best parts of Forza Horizon 5. And it sucks because the strengths of Mario Kart can only be executed by Nintendo. I don't know if anybody else can do what they have done here. And in Nintendo fashion, it's missing a lot of basic things. It's even missing ways to keep track of content that you've already done, which I feel like is one of the cardinal rules of open world games that I didn't think need to be said. It ultimately feels like a big waste, not because it's all bad, but because there is so much good in here, and there are glimpses of something even better. Finally, let's talk about rewards. Who knew that Mario Kart World would just be one big sticker hunt? It's Nintendo's first virtual scrapbook. It's sticker after sticker after sticker after sticker. It's honestly a bit ridiculous since there are so many things that the game could give you instead of stickers. They had the perfect opportunity to set up so many unlockable characters in creative ways, and they completely blew it. Characters in this game are unlocked in 3 ways. There are characters unlocked by beating Grand Prix Cups. I like this, and this doesn't need to be changed. But there are also characters unlocked by grabbing food from around the map and eating that food to transform into a different outfit. That new outfit would be added on the character select screen. The last way to unlock characters is to randomly get hit by the Kamek item in the game and have them transform you into a character you don't have yet. So basically, random chance. These other 2 ways make me want to ask, what the hell happened here? Look, I'm not against either of these ideas on how to unlock characters, but in the context of the game's current reward system, it seems like a no-brainer to implement so many unlockable characters and outfits in different ways that better rewards the completion of your content. For example, let's take free roam rewards. What happens if you chase Nabbit and catch him? The answer is that you get a sticker. Now, imagine instead if you unlocked Nabbit as a playable character for catching him. That would have been a much more fun reward for you to get. Instead, he is already unlocked from the start of the game. A similar thing with Charging Chuck. You can find him driving around courses in free roam, and the game tells you to nail him with a green shell. You get a sticker for doing this. Why couldn't Charging Chuck be unlocked this way? It legitimately blows my mind. Even costumes seem like they would be the perfect reward for doing content, but you just need to farm food from vendors for a specific character. Just hopping around the map and running to food vendors in hopes it's a costume that you need is boring. Doing challenges or getting first place in Knockout Tour would have been a great way to show off secret characters in online races. A character or costume is so much more recognizable than a simple sticker on the side of a cart. This has been true dating back to the DS, where I was floored when someone lapped me online with Rob. Small missed opportunities like this trickle up to affect the entirety of the game's reward system. So far, there has been very little to motivate me to do anything at all past unlocking Mirror Mode. In 8 Deluxe, there are completionist rewards in the form of Gold Mario and Gold Kart Parts, which is an exclusive character and cart that rewards you for getting 100%. In Mario Kart World, if you're going to 100% free roam, or even the game as a whole, you will be doing it solely based on your love for the game. And that's fine, but I could have loved the game a lot more if it felt like doing excessive amounts of challenges was worth it. Right now, I don't really have an incentive to keep doing free roam. I already have a bunch of stickers, and I don't even know which sticker correlates to which mission, so I can't even show off what I've done. That kind of kills all my motivation to get even more. It's possible that there's some sort of big secret for collecting so many P-switches or doing everything, but even if people discover that there is some decent rewards for 100%, I don't think the journey will be worth it. At the end of the day, Mario Kart World is a fun time. It has deep mechanics, but I feel like for multiple modes, they don't get the time to shine that they deserve. Grand Prix focuses more on going from track to track than the actual tracks themselves. Free roam doesn't have a good layout and is missing some key features that would elevate it from an afterthought to the main offering. And the reward system for this game, across the board, sucks. The fact that the game has a ton of costumes that you unlock by collecting items and characters that unlock randomly is ridiculous. And all the stickers you get for doing pretty much anything just don't cut it. It's a shame because I haven't had this much fun doing the challenges and riding on walls and finding creative ways to do courses in the history of the franchise, but this is probably the least that I've felt motivated to continue doing so. Mario Kart World is a good game, but good isn't good enough for a franchise that has consistently been great, and there are so many ways that it could have lived up to its name. Thank you for watching.